Buongiorno e ciao a tutti, I'm Aaron here at 99 Problemi, and today I have a video for you on the articoli determinativi. These are the articles in Italian, little tiny words that go in front of the nouns that mean the in English, and there's actually quite a few in Italian, and the rules for them are somewhat difficult at times to remember for beginning students and even for intermediate students. So here's a video that will teach you how to use those. Also, this will do a nice job of reinforcing the singular and plural nouns that I've gone over in previous videos, which if you'd like to check them out, I'll leave a link down at the bottom for you. And then I'll reinforce everything, bring it all together with the exercises at the end. So let's get started. There are actually 5 masculine forms of articles. And in front of the masculine singular nouns that start with a consonant, you put il, like il ragazzo, il libro, and I even put in one that might throw you off a little bit, which is il problema. So il ragazzo and il libro are pretty straightforward, and if you've been doing Italian for any amount of time, you've probably seen those examples. But il problema I just put in there to challenge you a little bit. That's these Greek-derived words that end in ma, that they look feminine but are actually masculine in nature. And anything that has an il in front of it will become plural by changing to an I and making the appropriate changes at the end of the word. So il ragazzo becomes I ragazzi, il libro becomes I libri, and il problema becomes I problemi. Moving down to the second singular article, lo, which goes before s plus consonant, or z, gn, ps, y. There are other ones too, x, p, pn, but all of those you can learn when you have to. Really quite a few exceptions, so you just have to learn those for lo. But you'll definitely see a lot of them in front of the s plus consonants, like studente, and gnomo is a little bit less frequently used. Lo zoo is another example. So that's lo, and then there's L apostrophe that goes in front of any vowel that is masculine, singular. And what's interesting about those is that they both turn into li in the plural. So lo and L apostrophe both turn into li in the plural. And that would create the following plurals: li studenti, li animali, li gnomi, etc. Notice that that words like zoo and autobus, these foreign import words, do not reflect any changes in the plurals. Moving on to the feminine forms, we see slightly more straightforward use of articles. We have only 3 forms for these, and these are as follows. If you have a consonant, you use consonant in a singular noun, you use la. So la ragazza, la mela, or la classe. And if you have a word with a vowel, singular word with a vowel, you have L apostrophe in front of that. And both of these, la and L apostrophe, will turn into le in the plural. So notice over in the plural examples, it's always le ragazze, le mele, le classi, no matter what the word starts in. So that should be pretty straightforward for those purposes. Notice words like università that have an accented A at the end, they don't change in the plural. So you have l'università singular and le università. And that's one of those ways that students will ask, well, how do I know when it's singular or plural? If it doesn't change, well, it's got an A accented A, but if you look at the article will tell you whether it's singular or plural. So for the exercises in this video, I've got 20 words, and what I'm going to ask you to do is to place an article on the words and then form the plural. So for pollo, you would say il pollo and I polli, so the chicken and the chickens. And this should help you set things straight. So why don't you pause it here and do these exercises, and when you're done and you want the feedback, you can unpause it and see the responses. Okay, in number 2 we have pesce, that's il pesce in the singular, and I pesci in the plural. That's fish. 3, studente is lo studente, that's S plus consonant, and the plural is li studenti. 4 is la festa, le feste. 5 is l'albero and gli alberi, following the rules for masculine words that start with a vowel. Mela, the apple, is la mela and le mele. 7, studentessa is la studentessa and le studentesse. 8, lezione, this is a feminine word. Remember that zione words, Z-I-O-N-E, are feminine in nature, so you have la lezione and le lezioni, and of course the words that start off in the singular that end in E become plural by changing the E to an I. Same thing here, but this one's masculine. Usually in number 9 it's il pittore and I pittori. So when you have the ore words, those that end in O-R-E, they're usually masculine in nature. 10, università is l'università and le università. 11, foreign import word with S plus consonant, that's lo sport and li sport, often masculine. Pagina, la pagina, le pagine. 13, città, la città, le città. So just like same rule for università. 14 is bar, another import, so il bar and I bar. And you find those every 100 yards in Italy, where you get your coffee. 15, la ragazza and le ragazze. 16, somewhat interesting ending here to form the plural, but we have l'edificio and gli edifici. Notice the dropping of the O to form the plural. 17 is l'amica and le amiche. Notice the addition of the H at the end to keep that C, that hard C sound. 18, libros, il libro, I libri, nothing too hard there. 19, again, nothing too hard there, il ragazzo, I ragazzi. And 20, la classe and le classi. Okay, so that concludes the video on the articoli determinativi, the definite articles, the word for the. If you'd like to subscribe, it's much appreciated. I'm also on Twitter and Facebook at 99problemi. And if you have any questions, be sure to leave me a comment in the field at the bottom. Okay, grazie, ciao.